much. I'm going to introduce our next act, Baron Sweet.
Cat in the Hat.
He has told me this name, and I can't work out. You're going to have to change your name, babe.
Alex.
Just change it. Alex.
Yes.
Alex. Alex is a comedian. He's a funny, funny guy, and he's going to bless us with what he has.
Is it that one?
Oh!
Oh God, a comedian. Oh, you're in trouble now. Right, those who've seen me before are a little bit worried that I do too much like political comedy, so I thought I'd try and do something a bit serious instead. So this is called Tits.
Okay.
Tits are great. Some tits are great. Some tits aren't all that great. Is that the best I can do? Honk, 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 honk. Apparently, yes. Thank you. It's worrying, there's so much of this. Oh God, this is called, does calling it cultural Marxism make PC better? Some boys like tits, some girls as well. Some boys like dicks, some girls as well. Some girls are boys, some boys are girls, and that's enough to make a world. Thank you. Popular, right. This is called trans species. Notice me, I identify as a performing monkey. Let me get my cymbals. Most popular. This is called the brains behind the list of Russian fronts. It was a woman who was a fat studies lecturer. At which point does making a curriculum for fat studies become a crime against humanity? It's already stretching dignity. Eat less, fat fuckers, is probably not Fat Studies 101. Thank you. yeah, don't applaud that. You sit there going, we're going to hell. Just wait. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. This is called Apropos of Nothing. I had a student once, a terrible girl, lazy, smug, entitled, a joy that she was not the norm. Although I'd be a mite repelled. It seemed that she couldn't bear to be at effort to get better at basic skills for good or ill, like sums or write a letter. She went on courses paid by taxes teaching how to work and left her notebook on my desk like some great blooming jerk. And I scanned her work to see if I could find and fix her faults, a fact that angered her so much she threw some lightning bolts. Why should she, who was so black, so ethnic and so female, bring more than just diversity when coming to the table? Surely all her work was done by just showing her skin? Why be better understood when being migrant win? Oh, bloody hell, what a dreadful girl, what a lazy, awful leech. But what can you do when a social system programs this in speech? Because socialism's a tool of the rich to leech the lower classes. Communism's tyranny, it's stomping people's asses. Conservatives, not a dirty word, they were often pretty cool, until with Heath and Thatcher they became a globalist tool, like Tony Blair and Mandelson and Cameron, Lord Adonis. So get stuffed with your diversity hires and pay a Christmas bonus, because I'm worth it.
Come on.
Thank you. Wait a minute. Brought up to hate the Tory party by the school and state, I didn't get just why my dad thought they were bloody great. I matured during the Thatcher years and it was clear to me Thatch was a repellent humanoid bin with a hate that fell on me. It turns out she was a wunderkind beloved by the Bilderbergers, who hated me in a hodgepodge of classless scum and shirkers. The dreadful surplus billions who dirtied up their planet, the cannon fodder and detritus that if they could they'd ban it. And the left are cool because Tony Blair had parties with Oasis and St Jeremy Corbyn says nice things about jobless of all races. And they make a fuss over tax cuts that benefit the rich, forgetting that uber wealthy won't be digging the same ditch. As usual, through charity, they won't pay tax at all, and they'll get first suck and the lesser taxes and have a fucking ball. And wages are squeezed and bonuses are for kicking shit downhill. There's never any money to pay you if you're ill, And if working and conserving is not the way to win, well, you can file our society in the bin. Serious question. In a free utopia, who makes the food for the idle citizen? Is it the robots? Is it really? Thank you. And this is called AI God. Who maintains the robots? Is it more robots? Who deals with freak chance, the ceiling plaster dust on the exposed circuit, the grit in a gear? Who trips over it? Da-doy? Oh, well, looky here. The mouse eating through that cable. Shucks, where's my toolbox? The robots? Really? Who has the dreams and the desires? Who creates the art? Who rehashes the comedy of errors? The robots? Really? The cyborgs? The taped memories of former leaders cross-referenced to deliver some reassuring aphorisms from an extensive data set of questions and responses. Going to merge with the machines, are you? Well, until your flesh dies and the simulacrum takes over. Hey, Rockefeller, there's a pigeon with a machine gun behind you. Oh, what are you going to do, buddy? Oh, don't look so baffled. Want to play with Soros? Yeah? Want to fuck up an emerging entrepreneurial spirit? Do you, boy? Do ya? Do ya? Off. Thank you. And this is called Above the Parapet, which is where I like to leave my neck most of the time. The documents are released. Lyndon B. Johnson is party to the murder of JFK, the greatest mystery of our time. A seminal "Where were you when you heard" moment that in modern times possibly equated to the death of David Bowie. But if you were growing up in the 20th century, it was a big deal. You knew who did it, of course. Lee Harvey Oswald, the lone nut with a gun. And perhaps you heard of some degree of scepticism about the magic bullet, but it was a prime example of a twofold reality. You knew who did it, but you also knew it was a mystery. Not unlike 9/11, or the UK equivalent. Although, if you put the truth out about that, there's jail time. Salute the fighters, Muad'Dib, and not the Paul Atreides version. But I digress. I'm after the Saxe-Coburg de Gothers, the line of Vlad Dracul, the Impaler, he who bathed in children's blood, and through Mary, about whom the only fact that I know previously was that she was a haemophiliac. 2 plus 2, anyone? Yeah, it's really worrying when certain news breaks. That one's going to come back and kick you on the bum. And this is called, who are you calling a subject? Liz Windsor, Elizabeth, Saxe-Coburg de Gotha and hubby Phil Battenberg own most of the country, a major religion, but never admit to their worth. Their friends, the Dutch Nazis who profit from Shell and set up the Bilderberg Group, are plotting together with corporate bosses to keep us all out of the loop. In the world there are 7 billion of us and they only want 500 mil. So they dump all their waste in our food chain and they try to get you killed. My mother was euthanised by the NHS. Doctors wanted my youngest girl's brain. I left that hospital with electrodes attached after proving I wasn't insane. And dear old Liz, not Liz my mum who would defend her queen with a tear, Elizabeth Saxe-Coburg de Gotha, that one, what did she promise us here? To have no laws but the laws of God. But what's that lying cow? There's a fine for this and a fine for that, and you want more money now for people to literally spy on me for reasons to take my stuff? You know what, love? You can fuck yourself, because I have had enough. Thank you. Touched a nerve. And this is called Lach. My disdain for the Rothschild view on life surely mirrors their view on mine. But I'm not the one trying to thin the herd. I think we're doing fine. I'm not the one using trickery or banking to cripple the world. I'm not trying to control it all. You won't see my banner unfurled. But damn it all, what a bunch of cunts. What duplicitous, greedy shits. In the metaphor stakes, what a horrible, horrible, stinking case of the squits. If a family member rebels the group who wants to live and let live, it seems they get the equivalent of a shank with a prison-made shiv. Since lies on the Battle of Waterloo and the power that Froward had gained, They keep the third world in penury, and the working stiff keeps strained. They vie for power with the Rockefellers, and both will play to win. They pay no tax, just have charities to bring their agendas in. They're heading for one world government of a lockdown city life, where the countryside is their plaything, for the rest just homogenous strife. With driverless cars with the power used to kill Diana of Wales, slamming her into the 13th pillar and killing her off when that fails. And the tech heads worship AI gods and Lucifer, bringer of light. And fuck these pigs, and you know what, friends? I think we'll be alright. And I think I'm going to go for something a little bit less intense. And this is called Time Out. Here's a little story, here's some fiction for a change. The dark heart of reality has all got far too strange. Let me lighten up a bit and here recount the tale of a little chap called Peter and his pet, the killer whale. On second thoughts, that's stupid because he lived on the third floor of a tower block in London with his granny, and what's more, he couldn't swim, did not like fish and had one leg and a stutter. In fact, fuck the little bastard, he's a liar and a nutter. If there's limelight to be had, I will not let Pete grab it. He's the sort to stab a whale and to strangle a white rabbit. And I know he's got one leg, but he's a lousy crippled git and yells fag at passers-by and says that foreigners are shit. And he only lost his leg because he was kicking in a dog, which he posted on the internet on his I Kick Dogs In blog. And it bit him, he got tetanus and gangrenous as well. So fuck you, foul-mouthed hoppity cunt. You can go to hell. Oh yes, smooth, completely lightened. Thank you.
Wait.
And I think I should finish off with don't leave me here inside my own head. I'm optimistic, really I am. It's going to be alright. The future's all possibility. There's a tunnel, but there's light. Tell me, why would I lie to you? I want you on this ride. A new world is awakening. Let's march on side by side. An age of pay it forward, where we have each other's backs. Of family, community, a world that's back on track. A time of fluffy bunnies, gambling in the sun. A time of hopping, Jesus Christ, it's Pete! He's got a gun! Fuck me ragged, but that bugger's got a wicked aim. Holy shit, I just got sprayed with fluffy bunny brain. Oh, sodding hell, that shirt was new. That stain is gonna stick. Please put the gun down, you psychotic one-legged prick. Don't you wave that thing at me, you squitty little shit. What do you call me? Hippie fag? That's real mature, you tit. Oh, stop shooting the bunnies. Oh, that's sick. And now you're dead. Don't worry, folks. It's safe. I dropped an orca on his head. Don't fuck with the poets. Fictional. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Guys, grab yourselves a drink. We're going to have a quick break and then we're